What's up, you guys? ShartimusPrime here from Toy News Eye International at New York Toy Fair 2016 at the Diamond Select Toys booth with the Mr. Zach Oat. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too, man. It's been a fun toy fair, no?
Yeah. You know, I mean, I don't get to leave this booth much, but there's plenty of stuff for me to look at here, so I have fun.
Oh, yeah, and I have a good time looking at everything, too, man. You guys have some awesome stuff. Recently, I did some reviews on the Gotham figures. We just had Series 2 is on its way out, right? Has it actually dropped yet?
I believe Gotham 2, if not all of them, then at least 2 of the 3 figures ship next Wednesday to comic shops.
Okay, so coming out pretty soon.
The 17th or something like that, yeah.
Oh, right, yeah. You guys actually got me hooked on that show. I finished all of Season 1 on Gotham. Yeah. Yeah, it reminds me of The Sopranos. I like the mobster movies. Or the
Series 2 is it's got a lot of a lot of villains, and it's a big villain season. So hopefully you like where it's going.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it, and I really like your dioramas. This is something that, I mean, you guys have been known, especially with Marvel Select. I've seen a lot of really cool bases and stuff like that. So having dioramas isn't necessarily a totally brand new thing for you guys, but I think you're going a little bit farther than usual over here with these. Is this right?
I think you could maybe say that. We've definitely created some more full and complete, nice diorama pieces that you can use with other things in this series. Series 1, had that buildable alleyway.
Yeah.
And then also you had the pier piece. But Series 2, you have the desk, which is a very useful piece to have for lots of different stuff. The fireplace, which is a great all-around piece, not just Wayne Manor. And another piece of that alleyway. So that thing could keep going conceivably for a while. We're going to have another alleyway piece with Mr. Zaz.
Yeah. Ooh, nice. Okay, cool. So they're just going to keep getting bigger and bigger?
Yes. Mr. Zaz will have the alleyway, and Bruce Wayne will have the bookcase. What you're seeing is not final. It's going to change in size, probably get a little taller, maybe a little narrower, but that's going to be part of the same room as the fireplace from Wayne Manor. And then you've got the last one, the Arkham Asylum gate. It's a pretty big piece, but when you take it all apart, I think we should have no problem getting into the Marvel Select packaging.
I've been meaning to ask how, the sculpting process for the likenesses of the figures. Just my personal opinion, I think they look very accurate to how the actors look. I think they're very impressive. So is it like a 3D image, like taken from the actor's face, like from the show? Like you guys, or is it just a sculptor just going in there and just trying their best to mimic how the actor looks?
I actually don't know for sure that we are using 3D scans in any way for these characters. Gentle Giant is doing the sculpts for Gotham. They do a lot of movie and TV-based sculpts, also some comic sculpts, but movie and TV mostly. Yeah. And I don't know that they are actually using scans for as much stuff as they used to be known for back in the day. I'm pretty sure that they're doing these all from in the digital medium, but from scratch. Maybe I could be wrong. I'll have to ask them and find out, but I'm fairly certain these are not coming directly from scans. We do send them in for approvals, obviously. We don't do that with scans anyway, but we do send them in for approvals, and the talent do look at them and see them and say, great, go for it. And so far, I don't think we've had any trouble. We were happy with how they looked, and the talent seems to be happy with how they look.
That's great feedback, especially from the people that faces are on the figure, right?
Yes.
Now, I'm seeing a lot of great animated series stuff over here from the Batman animated series, right?
Yes.
So can you tell us a little about what we're seeing? I'm seeing a beautiful looking Harley right here with the business look and everything. I mean, that was just always a personal fantasy of mine to have a Harley Quinn secretary in my life.
I believe in that episode, which is, I think, the man who killed Batman, she is disguised as someone's lawyer. So
that's it. Yeah.
So she and once she gets to the limo, she puts on the makeup and she's Harley Quinn again.
Yeah.
But she's in her lawyer disguise there, and we've been, we know Harley's popular, but we've been looking for different outfits to do for Harley that make sense from the animated universe. So that's why we did the Mad Love Harley as a resin statue. Yeah. And we are actually looking at another outfit for the next resin statue that we do for Harley Quinn, because we would like to do another one. The first one is, I believe, sold out. So that Harley Quinn is new here for the show in the business suit, but Joker and Batman were recent reveals from us that are going to be upcoming as well.
They're looking beautiful. I love these. And then you have a lot of Muppets stuff coming out right now, right? For the
Yes.
Select and everything too. Can you tell us a little bit about those?
Sure. They're we can say they're 2-packs, but some of them have one figure and a bunch of accessories, and some of them have, like Kermit is going to be coming out very soon. He has actually 2 smaller figures with him, Robin and Bean. So it's going to be a specialty figure that's got multiple figures or one figure and multiple accessories, and it's going to be in that Select style packaging. And then at Toys R Us, you'll be able to get a more streamlined version of the character with fewer accessories. You won't get as much cool stuff as you do in the Select packaging, but it'll also be at a lower price point, so they have that trade-off. But the Muppet stuff, you got Statler and Waldorf with the balcony, Bunsen and Beaker with lab equipment, which you don't see here, and Animal with the drums. I'm not sure exactly if we're going to be able to fit that whole balcony inside one Select packaging, so we'll have to see if that's going to become like a build a diorama, which obviously we've had some success with Gotham, and we've done that for Marvel movies in the past. So it's not unheard of for us. We're going to do something similar for Nightmare Before Christmas, but hopefully we'll have some more information about that really soon, if that's going to be feasible at the scale and price point that we want to do it at.
That makes sense. It sounds like it's complicated to get everything that you want to have happen, like as far as the delivery and everything.
Yeah, the most extreme example of that would probably be the Ghostbusters movie diorama, which is 15 pieces spread over 15 figures in 5 series. So
it looks so sick, by the way. It looks awesome.
We had to delay Series 1 for specialty because we hadn't figured out exactly what parts were going to come with each figure. Make sure they all cost roughly the same amount, so they all balanced out, and that they would all come out in an order that made sense for assembling the base. So the first 3 pieces you can use by themselves even without building the whole base, but you'll have 15 pieces coming out from now to the beginning of 2017.
Awesome. Now, one thing, I haven't actually gotten my hands on it yet, but I heard from multiple sources there's like a little QC issue with the proton beam going inside or tabbing in correctly. I don't know if you've heard about this.
We originally were going to go with a peg system for the proton stream and the wand, but we weren't able to make that work with the plastics that were being used. So what we ended up going with was a clip. And if you don't have that clip in your Series 1 package, you can either reach out to customer service, or when you buy your Series 2 figures, there will be additional clips in there for your Series 1 figure. So you'll get multiples in the Series 2 packaging, so you can just get those retroactively. And Series 2 figures will be out next month, so you won't even have to wait too long for those.
Okay, great. So there's a clip system for it.
Yes.
People were wondering about that.
Yes.
And then your Nightmare Before Christmas stuff is going nuts. And then, before we go to Nightmare Before Christmas, I wanted to ask for all you Star Trek fans if you guys have thought about putting an Enterprise C in the development process.
It's definitely on our list of ships that we want to do. We've been trying to get up to speed in terms of putting out 2 new ships a year. Not counting variants, 2 new ship classes. And the variants is something we need to do to make each ship class cost out in terms of, using that tooling and making it not cost too much to manufacture. So the Enterprise C is definitely on the list, and the Reliant is something we've been working on for a long time. We finally debuted some artwork here at the show. There's a prototype. It's not quite finished. The Romulan Bird of Prey is next for the 50th anniversary this year.
Okay.
But the Enterprise C is one we've been talking about for a long time. We know there's a lot of people who want it, and it's really just a question of, we do need to look at, potential variants, and we know there are 2. Battle damage and non-battle damage, and we need to look at just we do have to take into consideration the popularity of the ship. I know a lot of Star Trek fans don't like to hear that, and I know that a lot of people want to complete that lineup of A to E.
Well, but if I remember right, or from what I've heard, it's a very obscure ship, right? It only had like a one-time appearance in one movie.
Well, if you guys are a Star Trek fan, they will tell you the exact opposite. That is the most popular of Enterprise ships. That even though it only appeared in 2 parts of a 2-part episode, that it was yesterday's Enterprise. It is a very iconic episode. It led to the return and loss of Tasha Yar, and it was a it was a fan favorite episode. It's one of the top rated episodes of all time. So people really do want that Enterprise C, and even if you don't necessarily love that episode if you collect just Enterprise ships, which, for a while we just made Enterprise ships, but after a while people were saying they wanted more types of ships, so we started branching off. But if you only collect Enterprise ships, the Sea would theoretically complete your collection. And as much as we want people to complete their collection, we also don't want to complete our collection. We want to keep going with other ships. So we're not necessarily looking to end somebody's collection when we are still looking to expand into other areas like, alien ships like the Romulan Bird of Prey, other Federation ships like the Reliant, and there are other Federation ships from other TV shows that people want to see as well. So those are also on our list of ships that we know fans want to see, and it's just a question of whether we think the sales are there and whether we think the scale that would make the production feasible is something that would work for that particular ship. And there are ships that fall into scale categories where what we do might be too big or too small.
Okay, so Star Trek fans, you are not being neglected. Okay.
Sometimes they may feel like that, but we are always working on new Star Trek product, and we got a bunch of stuff planned for the 50th, and we have some of it on display here, new select figures, new Minimates, new role-play items. This is all stuff that we're developing and working on constantly.
And you guys are working on a lot, just in general. I mean, you have, going from Star Trek and then to Nightmare Before Christmas. I mean, it's so different, but you have a lot of Nightmare Before Christmas stuff over here.
Yes.
You have are these 1/4 scale, 18-inch?
Yeah, he's 16 inches.
16.
And considering how tall he is in the movies, that might not even be a quarter scale because he's so tall, ridiculously tall in the movies.
Oh, yeah.
But the coffin dolls are reproductions of old Japanese imports from the 2000s, the ones that come in coffins. Then also there's some more characters that were maybe not coffin-sized, like Dr. Finkelstein and the Mayor and Lock, Shock, and Barrel. And those will be also offered in that cloth doll format. Which again, they were previously released as imports, and most of them are not really widely available anymore.
Okay, so and then we have more select stuff from Nightmare coming out too.
Yes, Series 2 with the dioramas. So you got the Mayor with his desk, you got Dr. Finkelstein with, I believe he's going to come with part of that Town Square base, Santa Jack with his bag of toys, and also I think some some Town Square stuff. Pumpkin King, Santa, and Lock, Shock, and Barrel are all Series 3, and I think Lock, Shock, and Barrel will come with their bathtub, but the other two figures might be a part of that build a Town Square diorama. So you got the cobblestones, and then in the middle where Jack's sitting, they're going to have a fountain piece, which isn't quite finished yet, but that'll be one of the pieces that you can get to assemble the Town Square.
And you have Minimates for Nightmare 2. That's a lot of Nightmare Before Christmas stuff. Now, I want to talk about Marvel because I love Marvel. That's
How did
we're standing
take this long to get to Marvel?
I know. Sorry, guys, but hey, your patience is being rewarded right now. So, first off, I got to ask you about the Marvel Selects, all right? So,
yes.
we have 3 Marvel Select Civil War figures up here on display. We have Winter Soldier, Cap, and Iron Man.
Yes.
First off, it looks like the Captain America is a new mold. Is that a brand new mold or is that a reused mold? I'm not sure.
No, I believe, as far as I know, all 3 of these are entirely new molds. I haven't sat down and compared it to a stealth suit Captain America, but it's definitely not a First Avenger Captain America suit. That's for sure.
Definitely not.
I don't know for sure that that's not using any stealth parts, but I'm pretty sure that it's an entirely new sculpt.
Okay. It looks new to me. The knee pads look original and the wrinkles look like something I haven't seen before.
And compare it, but obviously they're all being sculpted by Gentle Giant. So if they have data for a particular costume piece that was reused, they can use that. So it is still film accurate and film studio approved. It's just being reused for a different costume, which they may. I honestly haven't sat down a costume to costume comparison. I know others have, and they've been asking for a updated modern Captain America movie costume, and so. For Civil War, we have to make Captain America. We have to make Iron Man. You just have to. And Winter Soldier was one that people really regretted us not making in Winter Soldier. So that's one that was a long time coming.
And congratulations on the Black Widow, by the way. I love the Marvel Select Black Widow.
Thank you.
That's another one that kind of like the Winter Soldier. You didn't get it produced when originally when the first movie came out.
It took a few movies, yeah.
But yeah, with Black Widow, it took a couple movies for her to come out. And when she was finally released, she did it. And I also want to apologize. One thing that I missed in my top 10 figures of 2015 was the Marvel Select Carnage, which I absolutely love. And so I apologize to you guys and my viewers for not including that, but I rewrote my list on Toy News Eye and everything. So,
No
but
worries,
anyway,
man.
yeah,
You can always include it in the 2016 list because we're going to reissue him this year. So people who didn't get a chance to get him the first time will be able to get him this time.
Oh, excellent! And you're reissuing Venom too, is that
Yes,
right?
Venom and Carnage.
Yeah, and the Spider-Man, great figure.
Thank you.
So, yeah, just a lot of good Spider-Man stuff. When you reissue Carnage, is there any way you can make him just a little bit smaller though? It's just a little bit smaller. That wasn't the reason why he wasn't on the list. It was just for me forgetting. But
I think the tooling is, it is what it is. Unfortunately, at this point, to do a whole new metal tool of Carnage might not be feasible for the size of the production run we're talking about. But I understand people were hoping that he would be a little smaller, and we went with sort of the top end of his height scale range, which is given on various sites and official statements. But hopefully people like him anyway, and make him crouch down and make him He can go toe-to-toe with Venom, and I know he's always a littler guy than Venom in most depictions, but he and Venom are kind of like those twin icons of the symbiote world, so having them be more on equal footing just seemed right somehow.
Okay, that's a fair.
That's my excuse.
That's your fair justification that they should.
More Carnage is better than less.
This is true, and you guys loaded him up with accessories and everything like that.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Now, are we going to get any more Civil War figures aside from the 3 right over here?
No, there was some talk about variants, and those may still happen, but I can't say for sure if those will happen later on this year. I don't know if they'd happen at the same time. They might happen later on down the road, but it's a possibility of a variant, but not any additional characters from that movie.
So, okay,
we're doing a Black Panther comic version for Disney stores and Marvel Shop, which is out now, obviously.
Okay.
So we won't be doing a movie Black Panther, but his movie's coming up, so there's always a possibility we might go that route.
So if there was a character that you could work on that you wish that was coming out, like which I mean, there's a lot to pick from.
Personally?
Personally, yeah. Like who would you like to? I mean, there's Vision, Scarlet Witch.
Vision is great. I love
them.
Paul Bettany's Vision. Scarlet Witch is great. She's fantastic. I know he did Hawkeye. But I love his new costume, all that purple and blue. I think that's really cool. So I would have taken a new Hawkeye in a heartbeat. I like the character and I like the actor. So, I mean, really, there's so many. I wish we were aligned that we could do 20 releases a year because Chuck would totally be game for making all those guys.
Yeah, and then the Black Panther. You're gonna wait for the Black Panther movie.
Yeah, it was just a question of picking who the 3 top characters to do for Civil War were, and Black Panther. We knew we'd have other opportunities.
Okay, and now these statues. These are very impressive looking, especially the Deadpool statue. I mean, I'm really liking these statues. Can you tell us a little bit about them?
Sure. I don't know if you're familiar with our Femme Fatales PVC statue line, which we've been doing for many years, and we recently expanded into Batman the Animated Series, and now we're expanding it to Marvel, and so they're 9-inch PVC figures, 9-inch scale, varying in size depending on the base and the character. But Captain Marvel will be hitting very soon. Lady Thor, or just Thor if you prefer, Lady Deadpool, and we've got a Medusa up here that nobody's seen before.
Medusa, the cleavage. I love the cleavage.
And we just got a delivery from Jean St. Jean of that Deadpool piece. Along with it, we've got a Spider-Man and a Hulk also on display. So we're calling it the Gallery series, Marvel Gallery, because they're not all women, and even the women are not femme fatales per se. So it's the Marvel Gallery, and it's going to be a mix of men and women from the Marvel universe. Nice. And they're all on that 9 scale, and they're all going to be in the $45 suggested retail price point.
Not bad.
Yeah, no, not bad at all. Hulk's a little bigger. I think we're going to be able to do it in that range, but he might go up a little bit, but everybody else is in that range, in that same general scale, in that general same size scale and box.
Okay. So. Wow, I'm excited for those. And these Minimates over here. You have a lot of Minimates, especially these giant-size X-Men Minimates. Like, there's just a lot of stuff over here.
Yeah, the fun part about it is that we have Minimates from comic, because we got the giant-size X-Men series. That's our 68th series of Marvel Minimates, actually. All including Sunfire. We've never made a 616 Sunfire. We never made a green costume Banshee. And a lot of these guys have needed updates for a very long time. We haven't made a Thunderbird in 10 years. Wow. We've got an animated series here, which is all based on Ultimate Spider-Man and Avengers Assemble. And that series is exclusively at Walgreens. But that's going to have our first Nighthawk and Man-Thing, and also the first ever Power Princess figure. Nobody's ever made a Power Princess. Princess Zarda, I believe her name is, from the Squadron Supreme. And we've also got movie stuff. We've got the 2 Civil War series, and we've also got 2 box sets based on the Netflix television series. We've got a Daredevil box set, and we've got a Jessica Jones box set.
I'm excited for that. That's actually going to be the first Netflix series figures we're ever going to see from anyone. I think you're the first ones to actually put anything out from the Daredevil show or the Jessica Jones shows.
They're the first ones I've personally seen, but I can't say that for any certainty. But I'm pretty happy. I think most of those characters are probably, this is the only place you're going to see them in figure form. I don't know if anybody else is going to be doing Trish anytime soon, or Claire, Rosario Dawson's character, or Foggy Nelson. I think this might be the first Foggy Nelson figure ever made. Maybe there was a HeroClix Foggy Nelson, although I don't know what his attacks would be. But articulated figure, first Foggy Nelson. We got the first Foggy Nelson. We got the first Power Princess, and I think we still have the only posable Peggy Carter figure. So we're very proud of that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, nobody's made a Peggy Carter. I love that.
We had her in our first Avengers series. Her and Howard Stark actually both appeared in that Captain America series. So we're pretty proud of being able to cover full casts. Maybe not 100% full cast, but pretty full cast.
Well, yeah, my very first complete Age of Ultron Avengers set. Well, actually, I still don't have one. It's the only one is my Minimates.
Yeah.
That's my only complete Age of Ultron set, which is still on the bookshelf in my bedroom that I look at before I go to sleep at night.
Some people have been concerned that they didn't see Scarlet Witch in our lineup for the 2 series of Marvel Minimates. We do have some Toys R Us exclusives, but some people didn't see Scarlet Witch and they were a little concerned. But we are going to be doing Scarlet Witch.
Okay.
She's paired with a character that was under a little bit top secret. So we'll be revealing that later on. We'll let you know how we're going to be offering it. And it's going to be a 2-pack with Scarlet Witch and somebody else.
Now, speaking of top secret, you have a lot of Pulp Fiction figures out here on display. I'm a huge Quentin Tarantino fan. I saw Hateful Eight. I liked Hateful Eight. Not as much as Django, but I liked Hateful Eight. Did you see Hateful Eight?
I have not gotten to see Hateful Eight yet.
It's a good one. Anyway.
I'm a fan too. I'm dying to see it. I just I don't get out to the movies as much as I used to.
I understand, man. It's busy. But what can you tell us about these Pulp Fiction figures? Because I know we can't take pictures of them, but if you could just tell us a little bit about them and as far as when they'll be coming out and whatnot.
We've been working on them for a very long time. Since a couple toy fairs ago, we had a big display on display, and I think we had some art maybe even the year before that. But we had a lot of figures on display 2 toy fairs ago, and then last year we kind of put them away for a little while because there were a lot of approvals still pending, and we weren't sure if we were going to be able to put them out anytime soon. And we've been working on getting approvals for all of them since then. And since then, we've really padded out the Pulp Fiction offerings. We only had 3 figures in that first display, and now we've got, I think, 9. And we had a bunch of Kill Bill figures in that display, and we've actually started to get the first series is pretty close to being approved. So we're excited to be able to move forward with them finally. The packaging is already designed for Pulp Fiction Series 1. We're just tweaking the paint, but Butch and Marcellus and Jules are, hopefully, you'll see them on shelves before the end of the year.
They're looking fantastic. I wish I could show them to you, especially those Uma Patas, those Uma Thurman feet look fantastic. It's a shared passion of Quentin and I, is feet men, footmen.
We all love Uma Thurman's feet.
Yeah. Now, you have a glass case here full of statues. Lastly, I just wanted to talk about really quick, if you could tell us a little bit about the Poison Ivy statue.
Yes.
Which are not the Femme Fatales, right?
No, the Femme Fatales are all PVC, and they're $45 SRP. The resin pieces are a little bigger, usually about 12-inch scale, and they are about $150 suggested retail price.
They're large.
We did classic TV. We did a Batgirl and a Catwoman. They're going to be coming out next month, and we're going to make more in that series as well. But the animated stuff, Harley Quinn is going to be out next month in her Mad Love nightie, and then Poison Ivy is from the episode Almost Got Him, and it's her in an outfit she wore when she poisoned all the pumpkins in the Gotham City pumpkin patch. So she's holding a pumpkin, and there's some jack-o'-lanterns on the ground, and she's wearing like sort of a darker green, almost black, bathing suit type outfit, and she doesn't have the green tights or the boots. It's a very different outfit. She only really wore it that one time.
Bare feet again.
Bare feet. So if you're enjoying the feet, this is the piece for you. And she's going to be the next release, I think, probably later on in the summer. And we do have more animated statues planned, including I think we're going to do another version of Harley Quinn because she's very popular. I think that first statue is actually sold out.
Wow, that is impressive.
The Marvel statues as well down there. Yeah. So we just brought in Rogue and Gamora. And those will be more on that 12-inch scale. And then we've got Wolverine and Thor, who are more diorama-type pieces. They may be a little smaller in scale, but they are on a bigger pedestal, Asgard base and snowy base. And those will be out actually next month as well. The Wolverine and Thor. The women are a little further down the road.
And I'm excited for all the stuff you guys are making. Really good-looking stuff. And it's been fun checking out the booth and talking to you. I know your voice is wearing a little thin. You've been talking a lot. We're on day 3 or 4 now. So you've
Day
been
three.
Yeah, day 3. So you've been toughing it out. Thank you so much, Zach.
Thank you for coming by.
Yeah, and New York Toy Fair 2016. Images up at toynewseye.com. Catch you guys later. Peace.